What's up guys, James here. Thanks for coming back and watching another one of my videos. Today we're going to be working on some texture on the walls here at the shack. If you've seen some of my earlier videos where I did the pallet wood ceiling, where I did the drywall texture in the living room, and in the hallway and in the bathroom I'm going to do what's known as like a skip trowel technique. Some call it like a Mexican trowel, I don't know, Spanish, whatever. It's basically where you put some mud on and then you just kind of skip the trowel around and give it just kind of this messy texture. So if you're into that, stay tuned. Alright, so to do this I'm going to use two different trowels. I got a normal drywall that you would use this for mudding and taping and stuff. And this one will allow me to get up into the corners. And we'll go like that and down on the bottom. But mostly I'm going to be using this guy, which has the rounded edges. And when I'm swiping around, I'm going to be holding and this guy's not quite flat. It's got a little teeny bow to it, not much, and of course the rounded edges. So when I'm swiping along, I'm going to be holding the trowel just tilted, just a little bit, not flat, just a little bit, and just kind of moving along. So I'm rotating, twisting here, you know, as I'm like this, twist it this way, like this, and I'm just going to work along and do that with the mud. So I'll go mix up some mud and we'll do this section right here. It's really tight quarters in here. This is kind of a big tiny house, so I got it on wide angle lens to try to get this whole thing in here because camera's backed up into the corner. So hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and maybe I'll do like a little close-up too. Let's do this. Alright, so I'm outside. It's absolutely gorgeous out today. We're a day before Thanksgiving, so I'm just using all-purpose joint compound. I normally don't buy the premix stuff if I'm doing taping, joint taping. It just takes too long to dry. You could come back like a day and a half later and thick spots will still be wet. So I prefer to mix up like the 30-minute or 20-minute when I'm doing joint taping so that I can keep moving on, especially in small rooms where you do a coat, you want to go back an hour later, do the second coat. You got to mix it out of a bag. But for this, I'm just going to pop this out of here. I'm just going to scoop some out of here, put it in this other bucket, and then add some water to thin it out. And still want kind of a whipped cream kind of consistency. Alright, got my, I think they call this a jack or a lazy jack or something. Is that ready? Gonna scoop out a bunch of this. This is way too thick right now. Alright, that's probably enough. I'm gonna clean off my trowel here while I'm probably enough water. Doesn't need to take much. I think I already put too much water in, so I'm going to dump some of this out. Before I started really mixing it. Alright, so I do have some obstacles here with this plug. And one of the first things I'm going to do is just pop some in this little hole right here. It's a little bit wet. Alright, so I'm just going to take this, put it up my trowel, push it on. The nice thing about that premix is that it's pretty clean. You don't get a lot of chunks. Now, if this was if you were starting this from the beginning of a project before you had the trim on, that would be a lot easier. So you wouldn't have to be working around this stuff. It's really just up to what you want to do. So basically, if you've got a spot where you don't really like it, you're just going to go along and, and you're just going to keep working it. Now I'm going to switch trowels. Get into these edges here. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm talking kind of quiet. Yeah, like right there is going to be a challenge. Let's try to do something in there. So basically I'm going to try to have a nice clean, I'll go a little bit higher here, nice clean edge along this tape edge here. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Alright, so I got it all on there. Going to be a challenge around that. Alright, I'm going to switch back to this guy. Set this down. And so now I'm just going to work this a little more. So again, I'm just holding the trowel. And I'm just going to All right. That looks pretty good. I'm trying not to make a mess. So I got my lazy jack or whatever it's called loaded up. And so I'm just going to put the mud down. I left these screws in just finger tight. So what I'm going to do is try to remember where they are and put the screws back in so I don't have to try to dig for those later. So I'm going to load this guy up. Come on, baby. It's okay if I have some of this yellow wall still showing through because it's kind of the look that we're going for here is this just really super random. Where now we're just getting the material on the wall. So I'm going to take this square trowel so I can get up here in this corner. In this corner. The problem with these trowels is they leave a little line, which is not what we want. So if I'm not happy with the texture, you can just kind of do that and then just go back over it. And of course you could sit here and play with this all day long, but at some point you just have to kind of say, okay, that's enough. I'm going for this actually right here I have a big wood thing that my dad made. It's like a coat hanger with a mirror that goes right here, so here I'm going to see most of this. Alright, so hopefully you can see that. So I just skipped around, super random. Not too many bare spots, but you know, look, there's one right there, but that doesn't matter because, you know, that's what you're going for, is the super random kind of rough finish. So I'm just gonna I'll just dabble some stuff in there with a little putty knife. Alright, well, I'm gonna work my way around here. Got all that to do. Alright, so I got this one done. I would say the main thing I'm trying not to do is leave any straight lines. So, you know, especially around the stairs there. There's a couple little spots right there. Like right there. Can get a little tricky. And then along this edge, I'll go ahead and I'll sponge this edge once it dries, so that there's no sharp edges to break off. And then in a little bit too, I'll probably peel up all this tape. It's kind of a shame because then I'll have to tape it again to paint, but probably going to leave the stairs, but around this molding I think I'm going to peel this tape just so I have a nice clean edge. Alright guys, I'm going to clean my tools. Hopefully that helped you out. And it's basically, a lot of it is just up for artist interpretation. What you want to do, how you want it to look, how thick you want it. I went kind of like a medium thin kind of coat, maybe no more than 1/8 of an inch. You could go thicker. I've seen it as thick as 1/4 of an inch in the living room where I did the spirals. I'll link a video to that. I got spots up to 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, these big spiral things. It's kind of crazy. I did it with my hands. So I'm going to clean up the tools. I still have to do the bathroom, but what I like to do is clean up my tools and kind of get a fresh start, so that as the stuff is drying and it's all over your hands, it's nice to kind of reset and then get going in the next room. I still have to tape that room off, so I'll go clean these, go tape that room off, and then I'll jump in there and do that. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share. Of course, that helps the algorithms to keep my videos in front of people, and I really appreciate it. I know I do a lot of random stuff on this channel, but everything from cars, boat stuff, home repairs, so, and some vacation stuff too. So whatever, it is what it is. Peace out. Thank you. Alright, so here it is finished. Here's the texture. There's the bathroom here. Really happy with the way it turned out. It's hard to see over here, but